There are feathers floating on an empty stretch of sea, and a man is hanging in the air above them, screaming a name at the water. He built those wings himself. He measured them, he curved them, he tied them onto the boy with his own hands. You know how this ends. What almost nobody knows is that the warning he gave had two halves, and we only kept one of them. Here is the line, as Ovid wrote it: "Take the middle way. If you fly too low, the moisture will weigh down your wings. If you go too high, the sun scorches them." Two dangers pointing in opposite directions. One says do not reach, the other says do not cling. We kept the half that turns a dead child into a lesson about ambition. The half about fear we lost. They were on that island because Daedalus had sold his skills to the wrong king and then betrayed him. And a king with a fleet does not need a prison. Every harbor was watched, which left exactly one direction. Nobody was guarding. So he made wings. Not magic, not a gift from a god. Carpentry. He laid feathers out in a row from smallest to longest, bound them through the middle with thread, sealed the base with beeswax, and bent the whole thing into a curve to copy the shape of a real wing. And while he worked, his son played. Ovid keeps this almost domestic. The boy chasing the feathers, the draft lifted off the bench, pressing his thumb to the soft yellow wax, generally getting in the way of the work his anxious father was trying to finish. Then comes the line nobody quotes. As he fitted the wings onto his son's shoulders, the aging man's cheeks were wet with tears, and the father's hands trembled. He kissed him. Ovid calls it a kiss that would never be repeated, and went first, the way a bird coaxes a fledgling off the edge of the nest, looking back the whole time to see if the boy was following. And then the boy did what a boy does when he is given a working pair of wings and told to be careful. He climbed. Nothing dramatic, no defiance in the text, just delight. The sky was open, and he went up into it. The sun softened the wax. The feathers came loose one at a time. He beat his arms, and there was nothing under them, and the last thing he did was call his father's name, and the water took it. Which brings us back to the feathers on the sea. His father was already shouting the same name back at him, over and over, and there was nothing down there but wings coming apart on the surface. He buried what he could find on the nearest island. That island is still called Icaria. The stretch of water is still the Icarian Sea. A boy who lived one afternoon has 2 entries on a map. And now the detail almost every retelling drops. The one that stops this being a fable about pride. While Daedalus was burying his son, a partridge sat in the scrub nearby, watching the whole thing, and cackled with delight. That bird had been a boy too. Daedalus once took his sister's son as an apprentice, and when the child turned out to be better at the work than he was, he threw him off a cliff. A goddess caught him in the air and made him a partridge, and a partridge, Ovid notes, will not perch high or nest in branches. It keeps low over the soil. So the man who threw one child off a height and left him a life close to the ground buried his own son for going up, and the boy he tried to kill sat in a bush and watched him do it. Ovid put those 2 scenes side by side. He did not explain them, and neither will I. So, was Icarus reckless, or was he a boy handed wings by a man whose hands were already shaking? Tell me below.